K kids! I'm teacher Arlene May S. Mariano from Kakutod Elementary School who will be with you for another fun and meaningful learning only here in Super K Teleskwela. I'm pretty sure that all of you are excited to learn and have fun with our lessons that we will share today. So sit back and join me in all the activities I have prepared for you. This episode is divided into 3 lessons. These are: number 1, multiplication of decimals and mixed decimals with factors up to 2 decimal places. Number 2, multiplication of decimals mentally up to 2 decimal places by tenths, hundredths, 10, and 100. Solving of routine and non-routine problems involving multiplication of decimals and mixed decimals. Reminder, Super K kids, you have to ready your math kits for doing the different activities. So sit back and enjoy while you learn. Now kids, before we go on with our lessons, let us test your computational skills by doing these exercises. Ready your paper and your ball pen. Let's start. You're going to choose the letter of the correct answer. Let's have number 1. What is the product if you multiply 12 and 45 hundredths by 1 and 23 hundredths? Letter A, 14 and 3,135 10,000ths. Letter B, 14 and 4,531 10,000ths. Letter C, 15 and 3,035 10,000ths. And letter D, 15 and 3,135 10,000ths. For number 1, the correct answer is letter D. Did you get it, kids? Well, that's nice. Let's have number 2. What is the product if you multiply 1 and 67 hundredths by 1 and 42 hundredths? Letter A, 2 and 3,714 10,000ths. Letter B, 2 and 3,715 10,000ths. Letter C, 2 and 3,814 10,000ths. And letter D, 2 and 3,815 10,000ths. For number 2, the correct answer is letter A. Let's proceed to number 3. What is the product if you multiply 3 and 45 hundredths by 1 and 18 hundredths? A, 4,071 10,000ths. B, 4,071 hundred-thousandths. C, 4 and 71 thousandths. D, 4 and 72 thousandths. For number 3, the correct answer is letter C. Now, kids, how was it? Were you able to answer all the questions correctly? For those who got all the correct answers, you did an excellent job. If not, don't feel bad. Anyway, this episode will help you understand the skills needed in multiplying decimals. So are you ready? Let's start. Let us read the word problem and solve. Lorna spends 5 and 3,600 hours in her work from home every day. How many hours does she spend in 1 and 2,500 days? Before answering the problem, let us recall the steps in solving word problem. So number 1, we need to find out what is asked. What do you think is being asked in the given problem? Yes, we are finding the number of hours that she spent in 1 and 2,500 days. What are the given? Yes, 5 and 3,600 hours and 1 and 2,500 days. Now, the third step, we need to find the operation to be used. What do you think? Yes, we will be using the process or operation of multiplication. And the fourth, we're going to write the number sentence. What do you think will be our number sentence? Yes, it would be 5 and 3,600 hours times 1 and 2,500 days equals n. The following steps will help you on how to solve the problem. Let's take a look at them one by one. Let's have step 1. Write the factors in vertical form. Just like this. Step 2. Multiply as if you were multiplying whole numbers. Remember the steps in multiplying whole numbers. Step 3. Count the number of decimal places in both factors. In this case, there are 2 decimal places in the multiplicand and also 2 decimal places in the multiplier. So it means there are 4 decimal places in the factors. So it means we will be having also 4 decimal places in the product. Remember, the number of decimal places in the factors should be equal or the same to the number of decimal places in the product. Now kids, we have already our answer. So we can have now our step 5 for the complete answer. So what is it? Lorna spends 6 and 7,000 10,000 hours or 6 and 7/10 hours in 1 and 2,500 days. Amazing, K-Kids! All you have to do is to multiply like whole numbers. For better understanding, let's try another one. Find the product of 12 and 4/10 and 1 and 7/8. Let's follow the 3 steps. Step 1. What is it, Super K-Kids? Yes, write the factors in vertical form. Let's have the step 2. Multiply like whole numbers. And then step 3, count the number of decimal places in both factors. The first factor has only 1 decimal place. The second factor has 2 decimal places, so it means there are 3 decimal places in all. So that would mean there should be also 3 decimal places in the product. So what is the answer, K-Kids? Yes, it's 22 and 72 thousandths. Now this time, Let us fill in the blanks with appropriate words based on the discussion about multiplying decimals and mixed decimals with factors up to 2 decimal places. Ready? To multiply decimals, multiply like you do with blank. Add the number of blank in both factors. The number of decimal places in the product is the blank as the sum of the decimal places in both factors. Let's see if you were able to give me the correct answers. Let's have the first one. So it means to multiply decimal, multiply like you do with whole numbers. And then add the number of decimal places in both factors. The number of decimal places in the product is the same as the sum of decimal places in both factors. Were you able to give me the correct answers? Well, that's nice, kids. It means you really understand our lesson. This time, we will test your computational skills. Rewrite the factors in column and find the product. Ready your ball pen and your notebook. Now, let's check your answers. For number 1, the correct answer is 2 and 5,773 10,000s. For number 2, the correct answer is 16 and 218 thousandths. And for number 3, the correct answer is 3 and 2,655 10,000s. Kids, were you able to get all the answers correctly? Good job for that! Now we will pause for a while. Stay tuned, kids, and we will be right back for our next topic.
Batang Kapampangan, super gang. Batang Kapampangan, super gang.
So we're back, kids. We are now in the second lesson of our episode 5. In the first lesson, we multiply decimals and mix decimals with factors up to 2 decimal places. This time, we are going to multiply decimals mentally up to 2 decimal places by tenths, hundredths, 10, and 100. Let us study the given equations. Let us have first equation A. What have you noticed in the equations in column A? Yes, our multiplier is tenths. Did we change any digit between multiplicand and product? Yes, we haven't changed any digit. The only difference is the position of the decimal point. Now, how do we multiply decimal numbers by tenths? Yes, in multiplying decimals with tenths as the multiplier, move the decimal point one step going to the left. Just take a look at the given example. 15 times tenths. The answer is 1 and 5 tenths. The second equation is 35 and 4 tenths times tenths is equal to 3 and 54 hundredths. As you can see, we simply move the decimal point one step going to the left. Now, let us have the equations in column B. What is our multiplier? Yes, it's hundredths. Now, how many times will we move the decimal point? Yes, this time we will move the decimal point 2 places going to the left to find the product. Let's take a look at the first equation. 218 and 9 tenths times hundredths is equal to 2 and 189 thousandths. Notice, we simply move the decimal point 2 places going to the left. Same as also in equation number 2. In 556 and 32 hundredths times hundredths, the answer is 5 and 5,632 ten-thousandths. Again, to find the product, we simply move the decimal point 2 places going to the left. Let's have more examples, kids. Let's have the first equation. 33 and 8 tenths times tenths. To get the product, we just simply move the decimal point. How many times? Yes, one step only or one decimal place only. In what direction? Yes, going to the left. So our product would be 3 and 38 hundredths. What about the second equation? 429 and 1 tenths times hundredths. What do you think will be our product? How many times will we move the decimal point? Yes, this time 2 steps or 2 places. Why? Yes, because our multiplier is hundredths. And so, our answer would be 4 and 291 thousandths. Amazing, kids! All you have to do is to move the decimal point one step to the left if you multiply numbers by tenths, and 2 steps to the left also if you multiply numbers by hundredths. Let us analyze the given equations. Take a look at the equations in column C and D. What have you noticed? Yes, the multipliers are both power of 10. Now, what do you think is the easier way in multiplying decimals by power of 10? Let's take a look at first the given equation. In 23 and 8/10 times 10, what do you think will be the answer? Yes, it's 238. How did we get that? We simply moved the decimal point. This time, we moved the decimal point one step only, going to the right. Same as also in the second equation. In 71 and 38/100 times 10, we simply move the decimal point going to the right one step only. And so the product is 713 and 8/10. So it means in multiplying decimals with 10 as the multiplier, move one step going to the right of the decimal point. Let's take a look at the equations in column D. You will notice that the multiplier being used is 100. What do you think is the easier way of multiplying decimals by 100? Yes, we simply move the decimal point 2 places or 2 steps going to the right. Let's take a look at example number 1. In 467 and 12/100 times 100, what do you think will be the answer? Yes, it's 46,712. We simply move the decimal point 2 steps going to the right. Same as also in example number 2. 323 and 79/100 times 100. If you move the decimal point 2 places going to the right, our product would be 32,379. So in multiplying decimals with 100 as the multiplier, move 2 steps going to the right of the decimal point. As easy as that, kids, multiplying decimals by tens, hundreds, 10, and 100 only requires you to move the decimal point going to the left or right, depending on what you multiply. It is important to place the decimal point on its proper place. Were you able to follow, okay, kids? Then, that's nice. Let us remember the following. To multiply decimal numbers mentally up to 2 decimal places by tens, hundreds, 10, and 100. Number 1. Multiplying whole number or decimals by decimals. Letter A. In multiplying decimals by tens, move the decimal point one step going to the left. In multiplying decimals by hundreds, simply move the decimal point 2 places or 2 steps to the left. In multiplying decimals by power of 10, letter A, in multiplying decimals by 10, move the decimal point one step going to the right, since it has only 1 0 in the multiplier. In multiplying decimals by 100, move the decimal point 2 steps to the right, since 100 has 2 zeros. Now kids, let us test again your computational skills mentally. Let us write correct answers for each equation. Let's have number 1. What is the answer? Yes, it's 6 and 392 thousandths. What about number 2? The answer for number 2 is 1 and 7,425 ten-thousandths. What about number 3? The correct answer for number 3 is 127 and 8 tenths. What about number 4? What is your answer? Yes, the correct answer for number 4 is 375 and 9 tenths. Let's have the last one. The correct answer for number 5 is 15,376. How was it, Super K Kids? Were you able to get all the answers correctly? Then job well done!
Batang Kapampangan Super Gang. Batang Kapampangan Super Gang.
Yes! What an amazing work, K-Kids! We are now in the last lesson of our episode 5. In the first 2 lessons, we enhanced your computational skills in multiplying decimals. This time, we are going to improve your skills in solving problems involving multiplication of numbers and decimals. Problem solving is the most challenging activity in mathematics. Using the best and appropriate strategy will help you to answer the problem easily. There are 2 kinds of word problem: the routine and non-routine problem. The first example is a routine word problem. Why? Because it is easy to answer and has immediate solution. Let's take a look at it. Lisa earns 25 pesos and 15 centavos per hour in her part-time job in a restaurant as a dishwasher. How much will she earn if she works a total of 18 and 4/10 hours in 1 week? To solve the problem, we need to follow the steps in solving word problem. First, we need to understand. In understanding the problem, we need to find out what is being asked in the given problem. What do you think is it? Yes, the earnings of Lisa in 18 and 4/10 hours as a dishwasher. And then, you need to find out the given facts. What are the given facts in the problem? Yes, 25 pesos and 15 centavos amount paid to Lisa per hour. And 18 and 4/10 hours, the total number of hours rendered by Lisa in her work in 1 week. The second step is plan. When you plan, you have to analyze the problem and decide on what operation will be used. Since we are looking for the total earnings of Lisa as dishwasher, we're going to use the process of multiplication. And so, our equation or number sentence would be 25 pesos and 15 centavos times 18 and 4/10 hours equals N. The third step is solve. In this case, you're going to show your solution by computing for the correct answer. So the computation would be: number 1, follow the steps in multiplying whole numbers starting in the ones place. And then number 2, add the partial product. Number 3, count the number of decimal places in both factors. And then, write also or place the decimal point correctly in the product. So what is our answer for the problem? Yes, Liza earned 462 pesos and 76 centavos. Now, for the fourth step, you need to check. To check the answer, you need to go back to your solution. And check also if your answer is reasonable. The next example is a non-routine problem. Why? Because it requires analysis and critical thinking and can be solved using different strategies. The problem develops higher order thinking skills. Let's read the given problem. Dr. Samonte prescribed an antibiotic for Carl's cough. The medicine will be taken for 2 weeks. 3 tablets a day. If each tablet costs 24 pesos and 36 centavos, how much will Carl spend for the medicine? Again, we will follow George POLYA'S 4-step process in solving this problem. What is the first step? Yes, understand. What do you think is being asked in the problem? Yes, the amount of medicine in 2 weeks. And then under that also, we need to get the given facts. What are the given facts in the problem? Yes, 2 weeks. It means 14 days length of the medicine prescription. Another one, 24 pesos and 36 centavos. This is the cost of each tablet. And then 3, number of tablets to be taken a day. For step 2, we need to plan. What do you think will be the operation needed to solve the problem? Yes, we will be using the process or operation of multiplication. And next, our number sentence. So in this problem, our number sentence would be the product of 14 and 3 multiplied by 24 pesos and 36 centavos equals n. Our third step is solve. We were going to compute for the correct answers. First, we will multiply 14 and 3. How did we get 14? 2 weeks times 7 days. That would be 14 days. So the answer is 42. After multiplying 14 and 3, we will multiply the product by 24 pesos and 36 centavos. Be sure to apply the steps in multiplying decimals by another decimals. What is your answer, K-Kids? For this problem, the answer is 1,023 pesos and 12 centavos. Be careful with your unit or the complete answer, there should be a peso sign. So 1,023 pesos and 12 centavos, this is the amount of medicine in 2 weeks. Since this is a non-routine problem, there is another way of solving it. Let's take a look at it. Number 1, multiply the amount of medicine by 3 to get the amount of medicine per day. So that would be 24 pesos and 36 centavos times 3. The answer is 73 pesos and 8 centavos. That is the amount of 3 medicines a day or in 1 day. Next, number 2. Multiply the answer by 14 days to get the total amount of the medicine in 2 weeks. So that would be 73 pesos and 8 centavos times 14. What is the answer? Yes, it's 1,023 pesos and 12 centavos. That is the amount of medicine in 2 weeks. Again, K-Kids, don't forget to put or to write the peso sign in your final answer. And then the fourth step, let's check. In checking, just go back with the solution. Again, reminder, don't forget to apply the unit used or the peso sign and the decimal point. Now kids, what are the steps in solving word problems? Wow, you've learned fast. Very good. Yes, we have to plan, understand, solve, and check the problem. With the problem skills you have shown in different activities, I know you can answer all the given activities. Now kids, it's time for you to answer. Let's see if you really understood our lesson. Complete the flowchart by writing George POLYA'S 4-step process in problem solving. Okay, let's check your answer. What is step 1? For step 1, yes, we need to understand. That's good. What about step 2? What is the step 2? Yes, we need to plan. What about step 3? For step 3, what did you write? Yes, we need to solve. And the last step, what is it? Yes, we need to check. Were you able to write all the 4 steps in problem solving correctly? Congratulations! Great job! I believe that you are now ready for the other assessment. Let us answer the following problems. Get your notebook and pen. Now, let's see if your answers are correct. Let's have number 1. Yes, for number 1, the correct answer is 636 words. What about number 2? The correct answer for number 2 is 5,797 pesos and 40 centavos. Okay, kids, don't forget the peso sign and the decimal point. And for number 3, the correct answer is 28 and 35 hundredths liters. I'm sure most of you got perfect score. Excellent, Super K kids! You are now ready for the next episode about division of decimal numbers. Time flies when you are having fun and you're learning. I'm sure that you'll learn a lot in this lesson presented today. And this lesson will serve as your springboard to the next lesson. Thank you for being with me. I'm looking forward for the next episode. Again, this is Teacher Arlen May Mariano, and I'll see you again for more exclusive education and entertainment right here in Super K Teleskwela.